Here's all the parts and the tools we're going to use to do this. We're going to put this end on a coax, try to make it look like factory when we're done. This one still needs this boot slid up more. And now that's factory. So let's start out, slide the boot over top of your end that's cut clean. Slide the sleeve over. And now we're ready to trim some of this. The first thing we're going to do is just trim to the copper core. So we're going to use this stripper. We're going to use the small hole of this. So we'll just get maybe a ½ inch of that. I just put that into there, and that strips it out. We end up having just a copper core. Some other loose wires sitting here. You want to cut these out because you don't want those to be up against the core. So just cut whatever wires didn't get cut. So now we just have a clean core. Now I'm going to use the larger hole of this to strip out about another ½ inch. This is in the end, it's going to slide down onto here, so we need to strip out about that much. So just going to use the larger hole and strip the bottom sheet out. And that flies. Now what we want to do is spread this out away from the plastic center. So I'm just going to separate that. And then this copper center, I've got to get it cut shorter. So this is going to go down over it like this. It's going to slide right down. But I got to get it cut shorter so it's not so long. So let me just get a good clean cut here. And now that I've got that cut, let me fold this down. I'm going to slide this onto here and make sure it slides all the way down to the piece of plastic, and it does. Once that's on, we have to crimp this very tip, and we're going to use this small hole in this crimper to crimp that. So I'm going to open it a little bit and just put that into there. So what I'm doing here, sometimes it's easier put this into the hole first and let that seat there. Then, without squeezing it tight yet, now put this copper into there and then give it a crimp. Then after you've crimped that should be on fairly tight, give it a little pull test. And if it pulls off, then you go, and it did, so I'm going to push it back down on there. And now what I'm going to do, since not all those crimp on tight, I'm going to just grab it by this part right here, the tip there. I'm going to give it a little pinch. Just a little squeeze like that. Give it another pull. This time it is really tight, so I don't have to worry about it sliding off. So now that I've got a good crimp on that, we're going to take this, make sure all the copper is away from your plastic. I'm going to slide this down on, and it's going to snap in. So I'm just going to slide it down in, and I'm going to just push together. There, I felt it kind of snap in. Then put your shielding back over. Once your shielding's back over, slide this copper up, or the sleeve up over top. And now you've got that slid over. Now we're going to use this part of the crimper, and we're going to crimp this part. And just give it a crimp. That's crimped. Now the thing is really tight. We've got our centerpiece that came through. Slide this back to the top. And there we have an end. You can do a test with continuity from here to there, but that should be no problem.